Last but not least, on the ethereal stage, we're going to talk about the new frontier of staking. Denis Igin from Diva Staking will take the stage next. Give it up for Denis.
Thank you for being here. The last keynote. I hope you're not too tired. And I think the content is exciting, and we're going to be talking about integrated DVT and what it means for Ethereum staking. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Denis Igin. I'm a product marketer with Diva Staking, helping to get it to the market in terms of the product meeting the user needs, having enough TVL, making sure the community is vibrant and supportive. So if you want to talk to me anything about value proposition, product market fit, staking, DVT, restaking, anything you want, hit me up. I'll be happy to. So let's dive in. And what is Diva? Diva is a liquid staking token powered by distributed validators. And that means that the most magic happens on the operator side of things. And if there was one thing I want you to remember, is that DVT makes the network more resilient and decentralized. There are actually many other benefits, such as permissionless access, security by cryptography, and clicker's playing a bit. With an LST, normally what you can do, you can hold it to get Ethereum staking rewards. You can take some risk and put it into DeFi. While with Diva Staking, you can take a third route and use DVT, the native liquid staking token, as collateral and become a node operator. And the primary benefit is much higher potential rewards, and by much higher I mean 2-3 times higher. So let's see how this works and how this is even possible. The Ethereum validator is still there with a 32 ETH staked, but at the same time there's a cluster formed of 16 operators. You can call it cluster or a P2P network working together in sync to provide the validation services. Each operator locks exactly one DVT to receive a key share. So altogether the keys, they don't have even to keep the private keys, which is another convenience. If you're an operator, you know that you need to put some process in place for secure this. The rest of liquidity comes from liquid staker, and that's where the additional benefits come from. So from the technical standpoint, we are in the Diva client is a lightweight client you need to install. It is an extension of Ethereum clients that it connects to. So for example, if you're an operator already and you have them running, you don't need to, you can just connect to the existing infrastructure. It's really easy to install. There's a Docker container. If you're running Zapno, there's a package. And the test node is live. I invite you to give it a spin. And we do support all the clients in the next releases. The Nimbus will be the default one. So we'll also go after minority clients as a priority. And why is it the whole DVT story is important? What does it change? Well, if you look at the evolution when proof of stake came, and then after the update you could withdraw your stake funds, and then LIDA came and create the whole liquid staking industry. We're all thankful for. Yet only using the whitelisted operators, then Rocket Pool took it to another level with economic model on top, while we continue evolving the technology and basically lowering the barrier to entry for users, making operation more resilient and decentralized, as I mentioned, and improving on it. And basically it's the edge of the technology, taking the best of all three worlds. So there is liquid staking token, the economic model, and DVT all integrated in one vertically integrated solution. There are other DVT solutions that you're well aware of, and they need like partners, liquid staking tokens to integrate with or Rocket Pool doesn't support DVT, so everything comes together to provide node redundancy, fault tolerance, and economically trusted relations between the operator for the most performance. I think the most important part is on the right here, where anyone can run a node with just 1 ETH, and with Rocket Pool is about 10 ETH. If you look at the collateral plus RPL you need to put together, it's lower now, but 1 ETH is still the best you can get, and with the rising prices, it's probably important for the larger crowds to have enough capital. It's kind of lowered barrier to entry in terms of in monetary terms, but also if you think about those people willing to enter staking, they might be afraid of slashing and other risks, and DVT definitely helps here as well, and lowers those risks dramatically. So for example, an uptime of 95% in Ethereum would be horrible. If you're running 95% in a cluster, the overall uptime becomes 99.99%. So let's take a look at the technology a little bit. It is novel, so keys never come together. Like I said before, you don't have to, you never get your private key in your hands. Even if your node goes down, the cluster is capable of taking it back in operation, but if you're continuing to be out of the cluster, it is self-healing. There's a technical possibility to issue new key shares and integrate into the clusters. The clusters are formed in fair and random fashion. So it's secured and trust minimized, and basically the code is low as it's supposed to be. And speaking about 1 ETH bonds or collateral, it unlocks the opportunity for less privileged economical areas. I think a lot of keynotes today mentioned that most of the node operators are in Germany and the US. Well, even now we have a DVT stakers program that supports people of all kinds of walks with less technical knowledge, and we aim to onboard them, and there are actually 10 times more people that have enough ETH to join the network by just buying a device at home for a couple of $100, and they're all set to go. Overall, distributed validator technology also protects consensus, and a good example, if I was saying if like due to some misconfiguration, whatever, one node goes down, that's one example. But what if there is like third-party risk, maybe even a client bug, maybe Gith has a client, and out of those 16 nodes, the whole 5 are offline because of this. Well, it's still okay, not only by cluster continuing providing validation services, but also in economic terms of having 0 penalties as a result, which is pretty durable if you think about it compared to the current staking options available out there. So we are trying to adhere to Ethereum ethos from the ground up by allowing permissionless access. Anybody can become a node operator by introducing economic model for people to put a stake to their operation. The contracts will be immutable. We support diverse clients, and overall aim to be the most as much decentralized as possible. And as quick summary, let's just take a recap and take a quick look at what are the staking options available today. Like you can go with some centralized exchange. Of course, it is vulnerable by its nature. On the other side of the range is solo staking, which is prone to all kinds of risk. Well, you have to have 32 ETH, and you have to configure everything and hunt for MEV, etc. The simple solution is just to buy some liquid staking token, and with Lido it's not centralized. Rocket Pool is probably the closest solution in philosophical terms to what we're building. However, there is no DVT implemented there for most resiliency, and I think Diva just ticks all the checkboxes and is indeed the new staking frontier, which I'll only invite you to explore. All right, that would be it. I hope you like what you heard.
Hey, thanks for the talk. I was wondering if you're running a validator of part of those 16 and you notice that one of them consistently has low uptime, what can you do to kind of rotate them out of your group so that you're at lower risk?
Yeah, the whole exit procedure is something I cannot advise in full, but it will be in the docs when the time comes, and we're now pretty close to launching into mainnet, so I don't have an exact answer, but I don't know that there is proper exit procedure in place to manage those risks if some of them are not down, but underperforming.
Makes sense. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Another burning question, one more? No? Yeah, Abel?
Thanks for the presentation. I've heard of DVT before, and I think it's quite interesting. How would you say your project compares to Obol, which is another DVT solution in this space?
Sure. Obol and SSV are doing great job of implementing similar approach in terms of DVT. However, they do not have a liquid staking token, which they need to integrate with the third party, which makes it just more moving parts that need to work together in sync, and that's the primary difference. Whereas we're fully integrated and have it all happening under the bonnet seamlessly without people thinking about anything at all. So like both Obol and SSV, for example, have had 2 iterations of integrating with Lido. There's statistics, some of it successful to some extent, like some stats are good and the others are not so much. So this is actually great direction to evolve. So we cheer that, but they're technologically a bit different from what we are. Hence, the integrated words in the very beginning of the keynote.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.